Hi, so my name's Levi, and this is my video in response to Simon Sinek's Golden Circle. Now in Simon Sinek's TED Talk, he speaks about the Golden Circle, and it's a circle that has three levels. The outermost ring is what, the second ring of the circle is how, and then the innermost ring is why. And he explains this whole idea of that most people really just go from the outside in, and they just kind of tell you, and most people will just basically tell you what they do, how they do it, and then a very little bit of why, but they're not really sure. And what I think is a very interesting idea is how the few people that really succeed in life itself go from the innermost ring outward. They speak about why they do something, and this is how they do it, and then this is what they do. And it's really interesting to think about is how that can be taken and applied to an actual person's life. And what I mean by this is that a person could be doing as a person could have a very simple action as, let's say that they're riding a bike, and the person wants to train to be a professional cyclist, but they don't have that goal in mind, so they're just riding, and they're not actually accomplishing anything other than that they're just riding a bike. And what they're doing, they're riding a bike. How they're doing it, they're sitting on it and they're riding it. Why? They can't answer that because they don't have a reason. Now, if that same person were to, and if you were to ask that person, that's a normal person, that's what they would tell you. But let's say you go up and you talk to this athlete, and he's training to become a professional cyclist. Now, and you go up and you ask him what you do, and he would tell you, well, this is why I'm doing this. I'm training to become a professional cyclist. I'm riding X amount of miles a week, and this is what I do. And you would be pretty much awestruck of why he's doing this. And it's very different than just this one person just going and it's telling you this completely different thing, same thing, but in a completely different order. And so what it really does change things when you tell someone it's not what you do, but why. You have to sell your own idea. In the world in which we live, many people don't understand that to truly succeed, you have to make people believe what you do is for a certain reason. Because no one really will believe you if you just tell them what you do. You have to explain to people why you do what you do. It doesn't really matter the what you do anymore at this point. Because if you get somebody to be, and the best example that he gave is the explanation of the Wright brothers. They were these two people from Dayton, Ohio. Neither one of them is known and has zero government funding. They're working out of a bike shop. Neither one has a college education, and they're just working with their friend who they've known since grade school. And they're working and they're trying to create the successful airplane. And they know why they're doing it. They saw a problem and they wanted to fix it. They weren't after fame, they weren't after money, they weren't after glory. They thought, you know what, it'd be really cool. Why don't we try flying? And then you have Langley. No one knows who Langley is nowadays. There's a reason for that. He was doing this for the what? He thought, you know what, I can get fame. Here's how I'm going to do it. But I don't know why I'm creating an airplane. I'm just going to. So he was funded by the government, gained a significant amount of money, and everybody was rooting for Langley at that point in time. But Langley's not known anymore. Because the people that were working for Langley, nobody really was there to help him. They were just there to collect a paycheck. Versus the Wright brothers, who none of their workers were actually really paid in the beginning. They all worked in their bike shop, but work on the airplane it was just a side project. It was a hobby. They did it for fun because they could. And so it shows that it's not really what you do, it's why you do something. And that's why if you do something for the why of it, and you have your own reason as to why you do something, it's very different than if you're just doing something for the sake of doing something. If you do it for the reason and you truly believe in your cause of what you do, it shows. It makes a true difference. I mean, I mean, for myself, when I do anything that involves running, I do it for myself, and that's the only reason why I do it. I don't do it for anything else anymore at this point in time. It's just for me, and it means a lot more to me than when I'm just trying to compete just for the sake of competing. And that's all I have for you. So thanks.